Just recently, I went on a drive to smoke a cigarette, and I was thinking about what to do with this video. It kind of led me into a spiral of thought. I'm lost. I don't have any cohesive path in life, and recently I've lost a somewhat admirable aspect of myself of being able to comprehensively verbalize my thoughts and channel that into writing some kind of script or story. I know that's pretentious, but that thought of it being pretentious is kind of looping me back into this thought feed of self destruction. Not to be melodramatic or even more pretentious, honestly, but something that really destroys me, and I think a lot of other people, is the fear of coming off as corny or cringe because of some stupid action in childhood or some regrettable thoughts of yourself. And social media and modern cringe culture exacerbate that. Every retarded faggot with an expensive camera and midway IQ thinks they're a philosopher when they think the modern scapegoat or pop culture icon is cringe. What fucks with me personally is forced cringe and rage bait. People ironically making fun of cringe kids who think they're a has-been hotel character or something, or whatever else band kids were obsessed with in high school. While I'm not a fan of that media, I think, you know, being in band in high school is a bad idea, and has-been hotel is fucking gay, but I would say those kids are more authentic and likable than the faggots who grasp at the lowest hanging fruit to get views on Instagram. There are so many retards on Instagram who, their idea of quote unquote content and the epic funny, the awesome jokes are just making fun of low hanging fruit, like people we've heard jokes of thousands of times, like has been hotel or whatever. And you know, thinking about that, I started thinking to myself in the car. I really started getting angry. Um, was this idea of a monster, and I called it ZOG the Inescapable, Zionist Occupational Government, the Inescapable, and the Israeli plot to destroy humanity. Um, ZOG is supposed to be the personification of the Israeli plot and of what we think they are doing with this mimetic warfare that they're very, very obviously conducting. Um, you know, and a conduit of that is the forced cringe people on Instagram. But but another aspect of Zog is that when we feed into the idea of Zog, um, we feed into this idea that the only reason we're stupid is because of it, and it lets us off the hook, and we never actually end up learning anything. I mean, to be honest, is it really Zog, or are you just a parasite feeding off the corpse of American society and alternative authenticity? When I say alternative authenticity, I'm kind of saying the counterculture that has always prevailed in America against whatever may be mainstream. There's always been a mainstream, and there's always been an alternative to that mainstream. But I think people are desperate to sort of become this alternative of whatever it is that may be prevalent in society. And that desperation really comes off very forced. It comes off like I'm actually different. And ironically, the people who are really the most desperate are the ones that make fun of that alternative. The people who kind of go that, I'm not like these other alternatives. See, I'm actually funny. I do the funny haha haha. I'm not like this other guy who sucks, who gatekeeps stuff, and he likes Sam Hyde. I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Hyde. See, that's what I mean by by people feeding off the corpse of alternative authenticity. You cycle. You become this Ouroboros of rape, as the funny man once said it. The Ouroboros of rape, and you rape yourself. You suck your own dick every time you cycle into this irony and this fucking, like, quote unquote self-awareness. I don't think that most people are self-aware. Most people just hate themselves and whatever cringe aspect of themselves that they may think they have. So they hide any legitimate authenticity that they may be able to conjure up in fear of ridicule, or they're in fear of retrospective. I had to write up this script to center my thoughts from becoming babbling nonsense, and it's still babbling nonsense. It took me 4 tries to come to that conclusion. So I'm not saying that curation is necessarily a bad thing. When I say authenticity, I think that some people just need to get what's off their chest. They just need to be able to really speak without some sort of pretentious air to them, or some, like, I think everything sucks attitude. That's so, like, that sort of 90s everything sucks attitude has kind of come back in one of the worst ways humanly possible. It's just hatred of everything. It's this awful nihilistic endeavor of people wanting to be better than others. You're a fucking fag, dude. And I've been unemployed and dropped out of college. I think I'm in a blessed spot. I think I'm in a spot that a lot of people would love to have, but it's kind of dawned on me that the autonomy of ZOG leads us, at least forces us, to discipline ourselves, and that structure can genuinely help brain function and comprehension as a whole. And this Ouroboros of rape that people want to lead their lives with can kind of be helped when you decide that I'm not just a floating head. I'm actually a human being in a body. That autonomy really does truly help. That physical cycling of a day-to-day structure of, maybe the same thing happening over and over again does help comprehension. It does help brain function. So I'm kind of trying to say that when we feed into this suppressed nihilism that Instagram or whatever other internet bullshit feeds us, you become just as cringe as whatever it is you were making fun of. I'm not saying to not bully nerds or whatever. I mean, bullying nerds is always going to be a thing. But when you make the epic irony on some heckin' gay Steven Universe tranny, or even do a little haha on some nigger streamer, you are turning into Schrodinger's jester. You're the fag and the haha funny man simultaneously. The streamer, they get attention from that. They're parasites. They're bottom feeders who feed off of that. So you're helping them. It doesn't matter if you're making fun of them or you make a dumbass video essay on it. You're feeding into that. They're actually getting benefits from that. Or, when you're making fun of the Steven Universe tranny, you're unironically becoming a little bit like them each time you do the funny haha irony. There's no longer a separation of yourself from whatever it is that you deem as lesser than you each time you do, like, the awesome irony. Self-hatred is not self-reflection. You're not smart because you think you suck. It's important to get over yourself and realize that this whole game is not worth it. You don't have to get the most amount of likes in an Instagram comment section because you got the perfect gif. You don't have to be this guy who's like, watches Sam Hyde because you think you're alt. You think you're more alt than the alt people. You don't have to be that. You shouldn't be that. You have to be yourself. You're not yourself just because you hate people. Imagine that. That's truly something that all people are. That most people are. They're just hate-filled, spite-filled nihilists. And that's all the authenticity they are. Because they have reflected that on the world. They constantly hate on things. They constantly are on Instagram or something. And, like, the internet is becoming a part of you. It's not a faraway thing anymore. It's not a separation of reality. It is the reality now. So when you're constantly feeding into hatred, you're constantly feeding into this, ironic, self-aware, self-hatred shit. You are becoming that. You literally are becoming exactly what you hate. My only advice for that, and what I'm personally trying to do, is find something that I truly do love. Get back into something you loved as a kid. Not like cartoons or superheroes or whatever. I'm not saying that. But drawing or something. Something that activated your brain as a kid that you think might help you now. Yeah, I get it. Cartoons and superheroes are fucking gay. They are. I understand that. But maybe drawing cartoons isn't as fucking gay as watching them. Whimsical joy and wonder are not bad things. Our jobs as servants of God and adults is to channel that and become as children, to love and to create good things. If you want to hate stuff, then, that's not good, but yeah, you can do that. That's your free will to do that. But if you're not creating something good, then what the fuck are you doing? Your people aren't having kids. They're not buying houses. So you're not special. You're not any different than some nigger streamer or some fag on Instagram that does this shit because you personally don't do it. You feed into that. You watch that. We watch that. I'm not going to act like I'm better than you. I do the same fucking thing, and that's what makes me so annoyed at that. We have to realize that, and we have to kind of be away with that. You can't keep hating things and not doing something about it. You have to create something good. And I think a lot of the people who, are in this realm of society, this realm of the internet, kind of realize that I'm trying to write. I'm trying to do shit, but I haven't been able to write anything. I've had brain fog for the past fucking 18 months. I haven't been able to write shit. I haven't wrote shit. And it's because I hate shit so much that it's numbing me and it's paralyzing me. I don't want to keep hating shit just because I think that's cool to hate shit. That's gay as shit and that's retarded. No artist in the world, no good guy in the world has ever been like, I'm not going to start creating shit because I hate shit so much. Every retard in the world has done that. You think these Thomas Ligotti faggots, these anti-natalist faggots, you think that they've ever created something good? No. They haven't. I don't care if you don't call it nihilism. I don't care if you belong to that realm of thought. You are nihilistic if you just sit there and you watch Instagram and you feed on media without trying to at least create something yourself. That doesn't mean that you go out and create slop. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you create something that means something to you at least. And hopefully it can mean something to somebody else. You know, I kind of feel a little bad for the Has Been Hotel creators. I'm sure that whoever created it is a tranny, but I feel a little bad that they tried to make something and admittedly their fan base is cringe as shit, but the people who hate them are even worse. Like, how the fuck? Like I said, I mean, the funny man, Nick Mullen, he said it best. It's an Ouroboros of rape. He said that about something else. He didn't say this about this exact topic, but an Ouroboros of rape is the best way to describe it. And that's the modern internet landscape as a whole now. You just can't get off like liking shit. You just can't get off on creating shit anymore. People just have to be hateful now. They have to prove that they are different by being super hate filled. And it sucks. But if you hate shit, do something about it. Make something good, something different. Be a light in this world so that maybe, just maybe, people won't be so fucking gay and spiteful anymore. Maybe people will be inspired, hopefully. Maybe things could change. I think things will change. I'm hopeful. As standoffish and negative as I can be, I am hopeful about the world. I think that people don't want to just sit around anymore. They want to create stuff. They want to be artistic. They want to, not in the millennial way of being artistic, where it's just pure self-love and autofellatio, but they really want other people to be happy. That's sort of a far cry from modernity as a whole. I don't think people think that anymore. I think that people think that, oh, everything sucks and everyone wants it to suck. No, I really don't think that. I think people really do want to be positive. That word sounds so naive, but people do want to be positive. People do want to make a mark in a way that will like help. And I don't think that going on Instagram, I don't think that will help anyone. I don't think that I don't think that the self-awareness will help anyone. You're self-aware for what? Your self-awareness is worthless if you don't do something about it. I don't care that you don't masturbate anymore. What else are you doing? Just because you're not actively destroying your life means you're not. Just because you are actively not destroying your life anymore doesn't mean you are proactively building upon it. Yeah, that's it.